This is CBS News Chicago.
Good morning. So great to have you here with us. I'm Adrena Sinclair. Dana is off on this Friday. Good for her. Thanks for being with us. We've got new details this morning about that high-rise fire in Edgewater. It forced dozens of people out of their homes, and this morning we're learning about the big coordinated effort to rescue people. And the world feeling the effects of President Trump's latest round of tariffs, how the markets are responding, and which industries are worried the most. And go Cubs go. It's a Chicago baseball tradition, and we're live at Wrigley Field as the Cubs host their home opener. So we're starting off with Laura Bannon here with your first alert weather. Right now we got the sunshine. I wish this could stick around all day.
Hey, it's nice while we have it.
Yes.
It is a beautiful morning out there. We do have sunny skies, cool temperatures to go along with it. Middle upper 40s, not quite to 50 degrees, but we're pretty much going to park it here through the rest of the day, staying on the cooler swing of things as clouds begin to increase, and eventually those shower chances will come along with it. So some light rain showers by the late day going into the evening. Overnight hours, you have some scattered showers early Saturday morning, but then drying skies. Highs today right around 50 degrees, turning cooler and wet for the rest of the day. We'll take a complete dive in that weekend forecast coming up here shortly.
All right, we'll see you then, Laura. Thank you so much. We're turning now to your nonstop news, and we're working to learn what sparked that big fire inside an 8-story high-rise in Edgewater. We're also working to find out exactly how many people are now out of their homes. We do know at least 9 were taken to the hospital. Darius Johnson live in Edgewater this morning with the very latest. Good morning, Darius.
Hey there, Adrena. Good morning to you. In the last 2 hours, I've been able to speak to a couple of residents who have been leaving with some of their belongings. One resident lives on the 4th floor where that fire started. He tells us that none of the residents are able to go back into their units on the 4th floor. He also tells me some of them on the 3rd floor have also been displaced as well. So that just really speaks to the magnitude of how big this fire was. Take a look at this video. The fire broke out just after 1 o'clock Thursday afternoon on the 4th floor of this high rise on North Kenmore in Edgewater. The flames moved so fast it prompted a level 2 EMS plan. That meant 10 ambulances came to the scene along with 120 firefighters, more than 120 firefighters. Crews say the fire started in a 4th floor unit, and when the woman inside ran out, she left the door open, allowing the flames to spread and rip through the hallway and through the building. Firefighters say they had to use ladders and fire escapes to rescue more than a dozen people from the building, including a man who was on the roof trying to escape.
A lot of elderly folks in here, and I'm telling you, this fire attack that these guys did saved countless lives. Really did. They did a great job. The fire extinguisher case, 75 feet away from the fire was completely melted. That's how hot it was.
In total, 9 people were taken to the hospital at last check. 1 person was in critical condition. Again, we're still working to learn exactly how the fire started. And again, just to speak to how this fire spread, a man on the 7th floor told us earlier this morning that when he was trying to leave his unit, the smoke was so thick in the hallway, he could barely see anything ahead of him. We're live in Edgewater. I'm Darius Johnson, CBS News Chicago.
All right, Darius, thank you for that update. And right now we're working to learn if any charges will come down after 2 arrests in that high-speed chase on the Eisenhower and Dan Ryan expressways. Not sure if you saw it, but take a look at what Skywatch caught the moment this ended yesterday afternoon.
Female wearing all green, doors open, she's on the highway walking.
Police arrested the woman who got out of the driver's seat there, ran across the Dan Ryan. But if we rewind, this all started in Oak Brook when police began chasing the black car. Authorities say the car eluded officers, weaved through traffic as you're seeing, and then hit at least 5 cars while they were at it. Later, officers were also seen taking a man into custody, but they didn't say how he is involved with all of this. And Chicago police are warning of burglaries at 6 different businesses. They happened Wednesday in Lakeview East, Lincoln Park, and Old Town. Here's some of the locations on your screen. Police say one person is breaking the front glass, then stealing cash from the registers, all in the early morning hours. And get ready to pack the friendly confines of Wrigley Field, which is looking good this morning. The Cubs are back home finally, facing the San Diego Padres to kick off the season. The team comes home after starting the regular season way over in Tokyo against the Dodgers. First pitch is set for 1:20 this afternoon, and coming up at 9:45, Jackie Kostek is live at Wrigley Field. Well, investors should buckle up for another bumpy ride on Wall Street today. Here is a live look at the big board at the New York Stock Exchange, which dropped more than 900 points at the opening. Right now, the Dow Jones average is right at 39,500. Now, yesterday, all the markets were down. The Dow lost nearly 4%, finishing yesterday down more than 1,600 points. The Nasdaq dropped nearly 6%, losing more than 1,000 points, and the S&P was down nearly 5%. No surprise, world markets were down again today after the U.S. markets plummeted, and it's all following President Trump's sweeping tariffs that will touch nearly every country on earth. As Jared Hill reports, the White House continues to promise that the long-term gain will be worth it.
Financial turmoil after news of President Trump's tariffs. U.S. markets took a nosedive Thursday, but aboard Air Force One, the president's optimism sky high.
We have tariffs, they've been set, and it's going to make our country very rich.
Framing the taxes on imported goods as a bargaining chip. As global trading partners figure out how to move forward, some economists warn of the impact at home.
The president's trade policy is going to do a lot of economic damage. It's going to reduce the income of households. It's going to reduce the purchasing power of wages.
Well, it'll raise our costs, for sure.
Grocers are projecting higher prices for basic food items.
Because we have to match it. Whatever they raise it to, we have to make a profit.
With President Trump's 25% tax on imported cars and auto parts, U.S. automaker Stellantis announced it's temporarily laying off 900 employees at 5 U.S. facilities as a result of pausing production in some of its plants in Mexico and Canada. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney announced his own tariffs in retaliation to the U.S. move.
We take these measures reluctantly, and we take them in ways that it's intended and will cause maximum impact in the United States and minimum impact here in Canada.
On Capitol Hill, Republicans and Democrats criticized the president's trade policy.
The president made one of the dumbest decisions in history.
As Trump allies work to calm concerns.
He's asking for and needs this space to flex America's muscle as the largest consuming nation in the world.
Asking for time. Jared Hill, CBS News.
And breaking overnight, the head of the NSA and U.S. Cyber Command has been fired. General Timothy Hill's removal came late last night, just a week after he testified on Capitol Hill about the signal leak, where a journalist was added to a group chat with high-ranking officials about an attack on Yemen. That chat included both Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard. The firing has received bipartisan pushback, with one Democrat saying he's deeply disturbed by the decision, and a Republican was, quote, astonished that a nonpartisan leader would be fired. The deputy director of the NSA, Wendy Noble, was also removed from her post. Meanwhile, the Defense Department's acting inspector general will look into Hegseth's use of the app Signal. In a letter to Hegseth, acting inspector general Stephen Stebbins says that the goal is to determine if Hegseth and others complied with protocol while using the commercial messaging app. This probe will also look into whether Hegseth was in line with classification requirements. Now, top officials previously said the information shared in those messages was not classified. In a few hours in North Chicago, there will be a rally against the Trump administration's plans to eliminate 80,000 workers from VA hospitals across the country. Local chapters of the American Federation of Government Employees and also National Nurses United will gather at the Canton James A. Lovell Federal Health Care Center. That rally starts at 11:30. And new this morning, the U.S. economy added 228,000 jobs last month, showing a strong labor market. It's nearly double than the 130,000 jobs economists had predicted. But the employment rate still went up 4.2%. Well, most of the jobs came in the healthcare industry, with 54,000 jobs added. 30,000 came from restaurant and bars. The federal government lost 4,000 jobs, though. A sign Elon Musk's Doge purge of the federal workforce may only be starting to show up in the data. Well, we are following breaking news out of the United Kingdom after actor Russell Brand is facing rape and sexual assault charges. According to London Metropolitan Police, 50-year-old Brand is facing 2 different rape charges and 2 sexual assault charges. They stem from an incident that allegedly happened between 1999 and 2005. Brand has faced similar accusations before, with a 2023 documentary recounting 4 women's accusations against him. While he has not made a statement on the current charges, he has previously denied having having non-consensual sex. And as we keep an eye on your world, the Israeli Defense Forces released a statement saying troops have started conducting ground activity in northern Gaza to expand a security zone there. And it comes days after the Israeli military says it is expanding their ground operations in the area to divide and seize more parts of the Palestinian territory. The statement also says civilians would be allowed to leave the combat zone during and prior to the activity. And South Korea will now be holding a presidential election in the next 2 months. This after the country's constitutional court removed President Yoon Suk-yeol from office. The ruling to uphold his impeachment came around 4 months after his botched attempt to impose martial law on that country. Now that he is out of office, he is facing other criminal charges. Rescue crews continue to comb through the rubble in Myanmar looking for more earthquake survivors there. The government says the death toll has now climbed to more than 3,100. The 7.7 magnitude hit the southeast a week ago, hitting Myanmar the hardest. More than 4,500 people were hurt and more than 200 are still missing. Well, time is running out once again for TikTok. The efforts happening right now to stop the app from being banned in the U.S. And the final touches for the Final Four. How the men and women's teams are preparing for the last few games of March Madness.
And we have some shower chances ahead for the day, especially in your afternoon and evening. We'll time out the timeline and also talk about what this means for the rest of the weekend coming up.
Mixing heritage with the sounds of Chicago's classic blues. How this duo is celebrating their roots through music. This weekend is the Final Four, and soon we'll see who's going to make it to the NCAA championship for both men and women's basketball. The action starts tonight with the women's games. We got the final touches going on the Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida, where the women's game starts. Texas takes on South Carolina at 6 tonight. UConn taking on UCLA at 8. Those games are on ESPN, by the way. And CBS Morning's Nate Burleson is getting in on the March Madness fun. He is live this morning from Tampa, Florida for the women's Final Four. We've already seen lots of fun from him there in Tampa, so make sure to stick with CBS for his coverage. And the men's games are in San Antonio, Texas at the Alamo Dome. Florida will play Auburn tomorrow after 5, and then Houston taking on Duke just before 8 p.m. You can watch both those games right here on CBS Chicago. All right, so many people voted, many of you did, and now we're down to the final matchup in our Top Dog competition. Thanks to the more than 1,100 of you who casted a vote for your favorite spot. Superdog knocked out Wiener's Circle with 60% of the vote, and Portillo's took out Byron's Hot Dogs. That means our last round comes down to this. We got Superdog and Portillo's, two really popular big names here. You have through Sunday to get your vote in for those who you think should win, for the winner. Just head to CBSChicago.com, search Top Dog, and then we'll announce the winner, the champion, on Monday morning.
Oh.
So that's exciting.
It's a big deal.
This is a big deal. And, you know, we narrowed it down from 16, so, and that was all based on nominations. So this is a big one.
We lost a couple of good ones along the way.
We did lose a couple of good ones.
You know? The people have spoken.
The people have, and you know, I'm not surprised by this one though. Right. I mean, Portillo's is such a big fan favorite. Also, Superdog is like a staple. So good luck to both of them. They don't need the recognition, but maybe they'll get it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Friday. Sun shines right now.
Great.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, I hear it's cold though. I haven't been outside much this morning, but
yeah, that little brisk feeling just will not go away. Now we do have some warmer days ahead in the extended forecast. Short term, we're a little on the cool side of things, and we've got some shower chances also to work with here today. It's beautiful now though, all the sunshine. We're going to be sunny for a couple more hours before those clouds increase, and then eventually we see some wet weather, which will likely go into Saturday. Sunday is going to be the drier day with a lake breeze and that wind that's coming down the lake that's going to keep those lakefront readings on the cooler side of things for both Saturday and Sunday. Monday, colder feel and a quick hit of some rain and snow showers picking up early on Monday. Monday morning. No rain, no snow right now. In fact, we've got a mixed cloud, sunshine, middle upper 40s, Midway sitting at 48. East wind that's coming in. It's a little breezy here at the hour. 47 in the Loop, 43 DeKalb, 46 Morris. Relatively quiet and uneventful in our backyard, but that's going to be changing as rain showers eventually get into our area, mostly late day after 3-4 o'clock. So as we look at the Cubs home opener, cloudy, cool, and eventually some showers that once we get past 3-4 o'clock. And that's going to go into the overnight hours. Showery conditions on Saturday afternoon. Rain moves right back in, but most of that's going to be staying farther south of I-80. So most of Chicago is going to be dry on Saturday, but we do keep that small rain chance in throughout the day. Quarter of an inch of rain, higher amounts to the south where we've got those 2 quick hits of some rain, which could be heavy at times. 49 for the high today. Tonight we go down to 41 degrees, a little chilly with those shower chances. Tomorrow a high of 51 degrees. On Monday you've had nice weather, cool weather, a high of 50 degrees, cooler lakefront readings in the 40s. Monday, that's where we see those temps go on down into the 30s, 39 degrees with an early morning rain and snow chance. Looks like that gets out of here by the early afternoon and really favors right along the lake shoreline into northwest Indiana. So it's not going to be a widespread snow potential. But once we get past Monday, quick warm up, more shower chances for Wednesday, Thursday, but that's when we see those highs back up into the 60s.
All right, Laura, thank you so much. Well, as we keep an eye on the changing climate, the heavy rain that soaked our area this week is now being used in the Shedd Aquarium's research project. The team is tracking fish inside the Chicago River to see how extreme weather impacts our wildlife. Specifically, they're focusing on sewage buildup. Now, when the Chicago area sees a lot of rain like we did this week, the water overwhelms our system, causing storm and wastewater to mix in the same pipe. Now, this can then dump sewage into the river and then the fish take off. Shedd researchers are now using tiny trackers in fish to see where they're going. They tell us aquatic ecosystems can give us early signs of problems in our own ecosystem, and one researcher says it can even lead to more mosquitoes in our area.
I'm trying to understand, how do organisms live within this super altered system, and how do we make their lives better? Because if restoration works here, it's going to work in any of those other cities that have the rivers flowing from an area into the city and back out.
Researchers will tag 70 more fish in the Chicago River this spring. Well, April is Arab American Heritage Month, and we're meeting a music duo that has created a completely unique sound to celebrate their roots. They're mixing the music of the Mideast with Chicago's good old blues. Noel Brennan got a chance to listen in.
For 7 years now, we've been playing together all around the country, around the world.
We both have this love for music that expresses intense feelings.
Music can make us feel at home.
I'm from Beirut and Kareem's from Cairo.
When Rami Gabriel and Kareem Nagy play together, they mix music from their Arab homelands with the blues of Sweet Home Chicago.
The blues is the music of Chicago. We take it in and we respect it, and we have integrated it into where we're coming from.
They call themselves the Arab Blues. Rami and Kareem play a mix of traditional and contemporary instruments. They practice in each other's homes and perform all over the country.
We're representing Arab culture with our music, but we're representing individuality in Arab culture, and we're also representing Chicago because this happened here and may have not been able to happen in any other city other than Chicago. It's very specific to this life that we're in.
Their biggest stage was Millennium Park last summer.
We opened up for the late Zakir Hussain, the most well-known Indian musician.
If the duo ever doubted how Chicago would receive their music, that likely ended after a standing ovation from 10,000 people.
It was humbling. It was humbling to get that kind of response here in our hometown from people who didn't expect to see us.
Their music may have origins in the past, but they transform the sound of tradition.
I feel like our music is vibrant, alive, and new.
Blending their roots with rhythm and blues.
Did you get that?
Noel Brennan, CBS News Chicago.
No, thanks so much. And if you still want to catch a show, they'll be at the Old Town School of Music on April 29th, so mark your calendar for that. We'll still ahead, a special contest happening now to honor school custodians nationwide, and a CPS worker is in the top 10, plus Jackie's at Wrigley Field.
Audrina, good morning to you. Actually, we're right outside of Almost Home, which is right up on Clark, north of Wrigley Field, and we are handing out some free hot dogs this morning with Vienna beef, which we've been having so much fun. I gotta tell you though, we had 250 hot dogs to start the morning. We are down to, Ben, how many hot dogs?
After we give this one away, 6.
6 hot dogs. Okay, John, you're the lucky recipient of the next hot dog. You came in right before we ran out, which is a pretty good sign. How do you feel about the Cubs' chances against the Padres?
I think we're going to win today.
Yeah? Okay, good.
Yeah. I'm looking for a grand slam.
Oh, out of who?
Tucker.
Okay, you heard it here first. Okay, John, thanks so much. I like the prediction. Enjoy that hot dog.
Thank you.
Yes.
All
Okay,
right.
Go Cubs, go. Thank you to Vienna Beef, Ben and Maisie over here, who have been so lovely schlepping around all of these hot dogs and handing them out. I think we're going to be done. I think we're going to be done with the hot dogs as we hand out the last few to the lucky folks right here. Yes, put your hands on a hot dog. Enjoy it. We'll see you right after the break.
Well, a new art exhibit will be unveiled tonight at Aurora Public Arts Gallery, and that exhibit, called Nature's Sonata, will feature landscape photography from local students and also a renowned artist, Jennifer Scavone. It's the first exhibit of the year and opens tonight with a free reception at the gallery on Downer Place, and that exhibit runs until mid-May. And Northwestern students are getting ready to dance all night as the university holds its dance marathon. Always fun. Students will dance in the Welsh Ryan Arena for 15 hours to raise money for education support. It's the 51st year of this Chicago Hopes for Kids and the Evanston Community Foundation. Well, a CPS custodian is in the running for Custodian of the Year. Cintas puts on this national competition. This is Michaela Ortiz Arendano. She's worked at Hibbert Elementary School for 3 years now, and she's made it to the top 10 for this contest. You can vote at custodianoftheyear.com/vote. Well, next at 9:30, TikTok in danger of being banned once again. We're looking at what's being done to keep the app available in the U.S. And the Illinois Senate considering 2 bills related to the murder of Sonia Massey. The proposal that could require more thorough checks of officers before they're hired.
This is CBS News Chicago.
Good morning. I'm Audrina Sinclair. Great to be with you. Dana is off on this Friday. It's 9:30, and we always appreciate you sticking with us through the hour. Let's take a live look now at Wrigley Field. This is courtesy of EarthCam. Today is a big day as Chicago celebrates the return of baseball season on the north side, at least. We're live in Wrigleyville with a look at all the pregame festivities ahead of the Cubs home opener today. And if you're participating in game day activities, you'll want to know what the weather is like. So let's start with that. And at least there's no snow.
Yeah, it's happened before. We get a little rain activity here in the late day, but once we get to that first pitch, I think we're looking at cloudy conditions, breezy, and temperatures in the 40s. But we will eventually be watching these building showers throughout the morning, heading into the evening and overnight hours. Around the region right now, there's those clouds increasing, so we've got the sunshine now, but we will be turning cloudy here this afternoon. A few showers throughout the evening hours, a couple of heavy downpours, especially farther to the south, and wet weather will go into Saturday morning, and then more rain is expected again, mostly south of 80. That's going to be the big focus area for some of the heavy rain that we see through today into tomorrow. Increasing rain chances, temperatures today will get right near 50 for a high, but we do have some warmer days to talk about, but then also a chance for snow in your first alert forecast. I'll show you when coming up here shortly.
All right, Laura, see you then for those details. Thank you. And this morning looks like a repeat of yesterday on Wall Street, with investors still really concerned about the effect of President Trump's worldwide tariffs. All smiles as the opening bell started, but the Dow Jones quickly dropped more than 900 points as trading began. And it comes after all the U.S. markets finished yesterday down 4% or more. And here's a live look at the big board of the New York Stock Exchange. Right now, the Dow is down around 1,800 points, sitting at 39,200. And with the volatility in the market, uncertainty about prices, and concerns about jobs, it's really no surprise that some consumers and businesses are worried about the future. Now, we don't know how much more we'll be paying for a lot of what we buy, but Jamont Terry is looking at the potential impact on our wallets.
When you step into the App Store in northwest suburban Glenview, you can find just about any electronic or appliance. Shoppers are out looking for deals.
I got to do what I got to do.
Kevin Corse and his son are searching for appliances for their Mount Prospect home renovation.
I think it's going to have an impact on how everybody renovates their home. I think it might stop a bunch of people from renovating their home and or construction in general.
Yet with the talk of tariffs as high as 34%, some consumers are left wondering what it means for them.
That's going to suck. Yeah.
It's just a bargaining tool right now, so I'm not too worried about any of the tariffs. I'm kind of glad it's happening.
And whether consumers believe that the tariffs are a tactic or not, stores like App, which have a majority of their appliances coming from overseas, are now prepared because they know if in fact these tariffs last for too long, sale prices will eventually go up.
It's going to trickle down. We're going to feel it. Our customers are going to feel it. But right now, we're not worried about it.
The locally owned electronics store says the moment the president started talking about tariffs in January, they took a huge step.
We heard what he was planning on doing. We started ordering extra from our suppliers. We doubled our orders.
Which means currently Apt has enough supplies in stock to hold them for some time. But the problem, once that stock is depleted, that's when Apt customers will see the tariffs impact.
If you are thinking about redoing your kitchen or thinking about replacing something, do it now. Your best price is going to come right now, because once these tariffs kick in, once we are not able to do anything about the price increase, those prices will be transferred to the customer as well.
So for now, we wait and see.
But you got to keep living.
In Glenview, Jamont Terry, CBS News Chicago.
And reaction pouring in from world leaders to President Trump's sweeping new tariffs. From Brussels to Bangkok, foreign leaders now saying this isn't how the U.S. should be treating its allies.
But even in the NATO treaty, there is a paragraph in the beginning of saying that also a free economy between partners is securing our common security. And therefore, I believe working together is the best answer in these days where the ruthlessness is taking all over and democracies have to be strong together.
European leaders are still preparing their full plan, though, of countermeasures against the U.S., and they may get creative. Already, French President Emmanuel Macron has suggested taking aim at trade beyond just the physical goods and instead targeting U.S. tech companies as well. Well, the clock truly ticking once again for TikTok, the app facing a ban in America unless it's sold to a non-Chinese company by tomorrow. The White House says it's working on a plan to avoid that ban. A bipartisan law is set to ban it over national security concerns unless its Chinese parent company ByteDance sells it. Now, a deal to stop the ban also requires that TikTok and ByteDance don't coordinate any data sharing, and ByteDance cannot control TikTok's algorithm.
You want to make sure that the TikTok app in the United States is not spying on people. Right. That's good for national security. You also want to give people access to this incredible platform.
If you're licensing the algorithm, I don't personally understand how you're solving for that problem, but I'm sure that's something that the U.S. government is talking about with this deal.
Multiple companies, including Amazon, have placed bids to buy the app, but there's still no word if any will be accepted before that deadline tomorrow. Well, this just in, that new pilot program we've been talking about that allows Chicago police to directly file gun possession charges without the approval of the Cook County State's Attorney's Office is now spreading to more neighborhoods. The state's attorney's office started this program in the 7th district at the start of the year, and then effective today, they say the 5th district will also take part. That includes Washington Heights, Riverdale, West Pullman, Roseland, and South Deering. They say this streamlines the charging process for lower-level felony gun cases, but some people are concerned about losing a layer of oversight. The 7th District Council is hosting a town hall tomorrow at noon to talk about how this pilot program works and also allow for residents to ask questions. That meeting is at the Ogden Park Fieldhouse, which is at 6500 South Racine. It's at noon tomorrow. Well, two different measures related to the murder of Sonia Massey are moving through the state Senate. Massey is the woman who was shot and killed in her home by a sheriff's deputy last year near Springfield. So the first bill would require law enforcement agencies do a deeper dive on prospective officers before hiring them into their past. Another bill would allow counties to create a recall process for an elected official. The bills are heading to the full Senate after passing a committee. And today marks 57 years since the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The civil rights activist was standing on a second-floor balcony outside his hotel room in Memphis when he was shot. King was in the city to rally with sanitation workers who were fighting for better wages. James Earl Ray would later confess to the murder and spend nearly 30 years in prison before his death. In just under an hour, there will be a march to remember Dr. King's assassination. The March with Us to Keep Hope Alive will begin at Divine Tree of Life Missionary Baptist Church on Harrison Street, going all the way to Stone Temple Missionary Baptist Church on Douglas. While the march will honor Dr. King, some will also be protesting the Trump administration along with it. Well, the National Public Housing Museum will open really soon in Little Italy, and it comes 2.5 years after crews began construction on it. Mayor Brendan Johnson and DJ Spinderella from Salt and Pepper will be among a number of people attending this morning's ribbon cutting. The museum is actually the only remaining building from the James Adams homes. You will be able to watch the evolution of public housing apartments from 3 different time periods spanning all that time. The visit itself is free, but you do need to buy tickets for the apartment tours if you're interested in that part. Well, a Saturday summit will be all about empowering and inspiring young girls. The 2 women behind the Girls Health Matters Summit join us live in studio to talk about why they created this event and how you can get involved. And this morning, we're taking a live look at Wrigley Field, courtesy of EarthCam. We're live hanging out with Cub fans as the team hosts its home opener. And for now, Laura, it's sunny out there, looking good.
Beautiful, and that's going to be changing here this afternoon. We'll talk rain chances for the day ahead and your weekend coming up.
Well, baseball's back. Chicago Cubs are hosting their home opener today after kicking off their regular season all the way in Tokyo. The Cubs play the San Diego Padres. Game time 1:20 at Wrigley Field. And our Jackie Kostek has been getting the party started. Jackie, I feel like you've had the busiest morning. You've been inside Wrigley. You've been passing out hot dogs.
Yeah, Audrina, honestly, I have been very busy, but it's been great because I feel like the energy of the home opener is everywhere in Wrigleyville. It does not matter where you are. Everybody's in Cubs gear, and they're just ready to cheer their Cubs on to home opener win. So now we have crashed another party. We have crashed the Q101 morning show party. So this is Brian and Kenzie of the Brian and Kenzie morning show, which you may have heard from like 6 to 10 this morning. So this is so much fun to have you guys. I was just on your air. Now you're on my air. It's just, we're all over the place.
We're on the TV.
Exactly. So good morning.
Good morning. We've all been up for a very long time, right?
I haven't had a sip of water in like 4 hours. Okay, how pumped are you guys though to be out here for the home opener, and now you're done with your show so you can really go and enjoy it?
This is when we get to party. Like now we get really excited. You know, when work's done and it's a Friday, so often the home opener is not on a Friday. Yes. We have babysitters. We are ready to rock, okay? Yes.
Maybe 10 a.m., but it does not matter. Yes, the party starts now.
Yeah, it's the best thing ever for our listeners. They come out and support, just like your people. Yes. And we load this bar at 6 in the morning, and it's Chicago. We know what it is. It's Cubs home opener. We have the most hope ever right now.
Yes.
It's fine.
Exactly.
We're going to the World Series.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't change. It's
right
fine.
here, right? It's fine.
There's no negativity now. Let's freaking go.
Yeah, let's freaking go. Yeah, I was going to say the Cubs, you know, they had like maybe not the best start in Japan, but now they're pretty hot coming off of the series in Oakland. How do you guys feel like the series against the Padres are going to be? I mean, the Padres are undefeated, so it's a pretty tough one. It's a tough opponent.
Cubs come in scoring 35 runs. I know not the same team they're competing against, but obviously, like I said, coming in with Shota today, I can't have any more positivity in the season than right now.
Absolutely.
And you know, when the Cubs are home, the energy that they get, like we have the advantage.
Yes, absolutely. Memories going back to other home openers. Like, what does this bring out for you guys?
I have to say, my husband will be joining me later, Roman, and we started dating at a Cubs home opener. So ever since then, 6 years ago, we go to every home opener together because it's like the kickoff for us.
Yes, I love that. It's like an anniversary celebration.
It's our anniversary celebration, which is his dream at a Cubs game. So
I love it. I love it. I love it. What about you?
Well, not so much that romantic. I just remember, I think it was 2007 when it was a blizzard. I think it was 07 if I'm remembering correctly. And we're blessed to have this weather today. And I just remember those opening days as being a blur. I don't have a memory, Jackie.
Right, well, that is okay. As do the people that I spoke to earlier from a bar across the way. I'm certainly they do not have any memory of anything either, because it was about 7:30 when we talked to them, and they were already 2 sheets to the wind. So Audrina, first pitch today, 1:20, Wrigley Field. We're just up the street at Almost Home right now. It's been a great morning. We passed out 250 Vienna beef hot dogs too, so we feel pretty accomplished. Audrina, back to you.
All in a day's work. Jackie, you earned your Friday. Thanks so much.
I think I did.
You know, we've been seeing the friendly confines. You know, we have our Earth Cam shot. It's like sunny. It's nice out right now. I wish it could just stay exactly like this.
I have a feeling that the good vibes are going to carry no matter what happens.
No matter what. It's all a vibe.
It truly is. It's like it's something in the air, and it's on a Friday too. I mean, that's all good stuff. It is going to be changing. Like we said, that Earth Cam shot mostly going to be turning cloudy, and then we will see a little shower activity building throughout the afternoon. The highest coverage with our rain is going to be peaking by this evening. Throughout the weekend, cool weather, mostly rain-free. We're coolest along the lakefront for both Saturday and Sunday. Monday's a day that we're watching for a big dip in the temperatures, and we get some morning rain and snow in the forecast. We're holding steady middle upper 40s now, 48 midway with a breezy east wind coming in at 15. That'll make it feel a little colder out there. Mid 40s from Aurora, 44 McHenry, Waukegan 44, and Valparaiso at 47 degrees. Expanding the view around the region, we have rain to the south of us, and right now here in Chicago, there's the sunshine, but that leading edge of the clouds is just right around the corner, and that's going to be overspreading throughout the day. By 2 o'clock here in Chicago, out at Wrigley Field, you've got dry conditions, couple of showers building out there, but eventually we'll see some more showers as we get past 3, 4 o'clock heading into the evening hours. Still have some rain ongoing tomorrow morning. Another shot for rain for areas south for Saturday by 2 o'clock, south and east of Chicago. Some of that rain may be heavy at times, but eventually clears, and then we have a completely dry day on a Sunday. About a 1/4 inch of rain. That's likely going to be through the evening hours into tomorrow morning. Higher amounts totaling right around an inch farther toward the south. Today's high, 49 degrees. We're pretty much already there. These temperatures are going to be cooling down slowly through tonight, all the way down to 41. Tomorrow, 51 degrees, low 50s again on Sunday. Sunday's a dry day. Little snow and rain mixed in for Monday morning. That clears out again for the early day. But most of this is going to be closer lakeside, further inland. I'm not expecting much on that snow front for Monday. Then we've got a quick warm up going through the 50s and 60s for next week. Audrina?
All right, Laura, thank you so much. Well, Chicago Nonprofit is hosting an event this weekend to empower and uplift the young girls in our city. The organization, Mean Girls Empowerment, is holding its 4th Girls Health Matters Summit tomorrow. And by the way, Mean Girls stands for Manage Emotions, Avoid Negativity. Love that. The event is free. A few spots are still available. They've had so much interest in this event. Joining us now are Shachina Edwards, founder and CEO. Good to see you.
Thank you.
And we also have the board president and chair of Girls Health Matters. We have Kenitha Johnson. Good to see you too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies, for coming in. It's so good to hear you've had so many girls and families interested in this summit. What is this all about? What do you hope that girls coming get out of this?
Absolutely. So Mean Girls Empowerment, as you mentioned, is an acronym for Manage Emotions, Avoid Negativity, and we are affectionately known as Mean Girls Empowerment. The organization was founded in 2014 to address the pressing issues of bullying, aggression, and violence that particularly impacts our girls. And so I started this organization with the passion to want to serve girls. I was a victim of bullying during my childhood, and so I wanted to ensure that no other girl experienced what I have experienced. And so over the past 10 years, we've impacted thousands of girls. And we have been a lead in the community, basically empowering girls to avoid negativity, build self-confidence, and pursue their goals. We have created safe spaces where girls can grow, heal, and thrive.
And that is so important, and to have these spaces like the Girls Health Summit this weekend, Kanitha. Can you just talk about what's happening at the summit? What are girls going to experience while they're there this weekend?
Yeah, so as Shatina stated, we really wanted to make sure we create a safe environment, an environment where they feel supported, where they feel seen, where they feel loved. So you get that from the moment you walk in. They get handed a Girls Health Matters t-shirt because we all want to be branded and feel like we're one. They get a morning snack. They come into the gymnasium and they're going to just feel the love and just the energy from our community partners. Over 15 health resource vendors, from federally qualified health centers to hospitals to health plans. We're doing health screenings on site, everything from eye exam to blood pressure, but a lot of community resources. And once they get that, they get a really nice bonus of someone advocating for girls. They're going to get remarks by Congresswoman Robin Kelly. And so that just starts the day off before we get to our sessions and start learning about different things. So again, the girls are going to say, okay, well, I came here alone, but I feel empowered and I feel like I'm already part of a sisterhood.
Yeah, and that community is so important, especially when you talk about the issues like bullying that so many of our young girls are facing, whether that's in person at school, whether that's on social media. And I know part of this summit is about addressing the tools that they can use to combat this, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And so I'll let Kanitha address that one.
Yeah, so everything was intentional. When we look at our data, we're looking at everything. We know in Chicagoland, zip code really determines your life expectancy. And so girls are going to find out things about hygiene health. They're going to find out healthy choices on eating. They're at that age where they're putting things in air fryers and they're, hey, I need to make a snack before my extracurricular activities. They're going to find out things again about building just safe and healthy relationships, which is so important at that age. And even things about demonstrations about, you know, food and nutrition. They're going to get exercise. They're going to have music therapy. It's just going to be really, really engaging for them.
That is so important. And I love your theme, unstoppable and unapologetic. That is an amazing theme. Why is this so important? Not just the summit this weekend, Shatina, but also the organization. I know you mentioned that you've dealt with bullying yourself. You want girls to have resources, but why is this important, especially for girls in certain area codes, as we just mentioned, that might have less access to a lot of resources?
Absolutely. So statistics show that our girls have a higher rate of experiencing depression. And not only that, you know, suicide attempts, where statistics have shown that more than 15% of girls have tried it more than one times. And so this is extremely important that we provide resources to these girls so they can understand how to navigate through their lives and how to address whatever mental health challenge there is or trauma that they may be facing in their lives. And so I think with Mean Girls Empowerment, this event is just not a one-day event. What we do is we do this throughout the year for our girls. We have a program, a 16-week program, where we partner our girls with mentors and we provide free therapy services to our girls in the community. And so we want to continue to build our girls and make sure that they are healthy in our community and they thrive and they pursue their goals in life.
Yes, so important. I love programs like this in our communities. I believe in them and the power of them. So thanks for the work that you're doing. Shatina and Kanitha, thank you both for joining us. We appreciate you being here. And for those watching, the Girls Health Matters Summit is tomorrow. It's from 9:30 to 3:30 at UChicago Charter School's Woodlawn campus. You can register online at meangirlsempowerment.org. Again, just a few spots left, but connect with the organization if this is something you think that a girl that in your life can be a part of, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Here is a look at the stories that we're keeping an eye on this Friday morning. And we begin your nonstop news with the cause of a fire in Edgewater yesterday. It happened just after 1 p.m. on the 4th floor of this high-rise on North Kenmore. Fire officials say the fire was caused by unattended cooking. It started in a 4th floor unit. It spread really fast, though. At least 9 people had to be taken to the hospital. We've learned one of them is in critical condition. And the roller coaster on Wall Street, it continues this morning with stocks down more than 1,000 points already. And it comes after more than $2 trillion of the U.S. stock market's value wiped out yesterday. It's all happening in response to President Trump's sweeping tariffs on imported goods. And the U.S. economy added 228,000 jobs last month, showing a strong labor market. It's actually nearly double the 130,000 jobs economists had predicted, but the unemployment rate still went up 4.2%.
Well, shower chances will increase through the rest of the day. Wet weather overnight tonight into early Saturday. Temperature-wise, no big swings here. We're in the upper 40s, low 50s. We do go down to the 30s for highs on Monday before a quick recovery and go back up into the 60s for next Thursday.
All right, at least we have Sunday, which is like nice and clear.
And tomorrow's going to be nice too.
Okay.
We'll mix sun, some showers south of us, so I think we're in good shape here.
Good to know. All right, we like not a washout.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, thanks for joining us here on the news at 9. We always appreciate you being with us. You can watch the stream throughout the day. Have a good one.